We build our entire brand on partnering with farmers, seed to skin, skin to soul. So here we are today at one of our apiaries, and we're talking with Pontus, whom you'll meet, and we are gonna see our bees, see our honey. I really wanted to support the local, US-based bee farms, and so we've been able to purchase about 12,000 pounds of beeswax here from Colorado, and from all local small bee farms. It takes 300 pounds of honey to produce 1 pound of beeswax here. But that's the whole thing, I was standing at a booth the other day because I go to the farmers market every Saturday just to buy product, and I love to support local farmers. And so I'm talking to one of these little farmers who had watermelon, and he had carrots and grapes from local Colorado, his own farm. And this guy walks up and he's like, "How much are your watermelons?" And the farmer said, after, on average by weight, they're about $8 for one of them. And the guy was like, "Okay, that sounds fair." And I'm like, just pay the farmer the $8, dude. The guy put a seed in the ground, waited 6 months, and grew a watermelon. We don't realize how hard our farmers work, but we should never question pricing when it comes to farms. And I think the statistics are that only 10% of grocery and commerce in this country is from the small local farmers. 90% of it is mass grocery. And so I really want to bring awareness to that, because if you can shop local, support your local farmer, pay fair prices, pay the price that they're asking you, because it's worth it. To me, people don't have a problem going and buying, expensive medicine, but to me, food is medicine, so it's worth investing in your health, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
It worked out great. I got some coffee. A sandwich. Okay, so we're actually going to drive down to that tree line down there.
We build our entire brand on partnering with farmers, seed to skin, skin to soul. So here we are today at one of our apiaries, and we're talking with Pontus, whom you'll meet, and we are gonna see our bees, see our honey and our wax, and where our wax is coming from. So when you are using the lotion bar or the soap, this is where we're actually getting here locally in Colorado, in Denver, and up the Front Range. We're getting the purest raw beeswax, or farm fresh beeswax, and raw honey. And the honey's not been heated, so in its most nutrient dense form. It's something with the farm fresh beeswax. This is Pontus, and he is our bee farmer. And your grandfather actually ran an apiary in Sweden, correct? So you did this growing up.
Yep, third generation. So I worked with bees one way or another my whole life. And it started off being free labor as a child. And here I am, running bees.
Free labor. I did that too growing up on the farm.
Yeah. That's how we all end up on the farm, free labor. Now I put my daughter into being free labor. That we still have honey on these beehives, but this is how the actual honey frames looks like.
Wow.
So then when actually the beeswax that that we're selling you, it's the capping of this. So the top layer off, and then it goes into the centrifuge, and you spin the frames, and that's how we get the honey out of the frames. But the capping is the highest quality of wax. It's the cleanest and the freshest. The cleanest and the freshest wax. And I know I showed you it in a powder form, but it basically comes out like small pieces. But we get very clean wax that way.
That's amazing.
So I'm gonna put that on, and then it will look like this. Is how it ends out.
That beeswax?
Yep.
That's our wax.
Um,
Giant cane.
right? Do I feel it? Here. It smells good too. Yeah. So I think we could, we can put this on, and then we can kind of show it. Isn't that clean?
Yeah, smells like
So
our
nice.
shop where we keep the honey.
That's cool.
Smells like
That's
our
amazing.
cabinets.
So you can
Smells
see
like your
how
cabinets.
much work it is to get wax versus honey. I mean, just those little tiny scrapings. So when we talk about buying like 10,000 pounds of wax, this is a lot of those.
It's a lot of those.
How many pounds is that?
I actually don't know. I would guess it's
15.
yeah, 12, 15. 15 is probably a pretty good estimate. Something like that.
And we buy them in 40-pound blocks. That's beautiful.
My uncle raises bees up north, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool, right? Yeah, it really is.
Well, we're ready.
All right, well, let's do it. Cool. So who's putting bee suits on? Here, if you do this, I think this is my extra large.
Woo! Here we go. Gonna see our bees. I love these little bees. They're just so happy. They're so hardworking. You can learn a lot from the bees.
It's going in, people.
It's not zipping up.
How are you feeling?
I feel great.
Good.
We're gonna meet our bees. I'm feeling so amazing. I love the workmanship of a bee, and I just appreciate their artistry, their work ethic. It's amazing how far they fly. How far they fly to pollinate and to produce what they produce between the wax and the honey. It's incredible. Just let it. We can all learn a lot from the bee. So I'm at Pontus in my first year at the Cherry Creek Farmers Markets in Denver, and we were kind of like next door neighbors. And his customers would come buy honey, and then I was a great follow-on product, or that my customers would come buy soap and lotion for me, and then it was a perfect follow-on for them to go and see Pontus's table with his honey. And so we've just built a really great relationship, and now going from farmers markets to what we've been doing for the last 2 years, it's been great because I've been like, hey Pontus, we need 10,000 pounds of beeswax, and he's like, okay, let me talk to all the farmers and see what we can get you. And so we have been purchasing along the Front Range and all through Boulder, and your wife had a baby, what, a year and a half ago? So his wife helps him. She's 2.5, so his wife helps him with the business, and now your daughter's involved with bees.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool.
She has a little bee suit. As it starts to be time for them to hibernate, they make a cluster and they lay down. They put the queen in the middle, and then they make sure that they hold her warm, and then they circulate within this cluster to keep each other warm. is what they do.
I'm totally in awe right now of these bees and the sound, and every time they're flying over my head right now, and I can feel their little, like, feel the wind from the bees.
Let me see if I can lift one more, but yeah, I think this time of the year, yeah, of course.
I didn't expect it to be this heavy.
Propolis, bees make it from tree sap and plant resin, and they coat the foundation of the hive, so the frames and the boxes, they coat that with it, and it's a very strong antimicrobial. So for using it kind of as a doormat is the easiest way of explaining it. They put it as in the entrance of the hive, and when they come from the outside world, if they happen to step in viruses or fungals or bacteria, they walk through it, kind of cleaning off any bacteria or virus that they might have on their feet. And then they use it, they cover the boxes with it to keep it clean and healthy for them.
And then if there's an invader, don't they wrap it with propolis?
So if like a grasshopper or anything will come into the beehive, or a bug comes into the beehive and it would die, if the bees are not strong enough to carry it outside the beehive, they basically embalm the invader with propolis, and that's how they make sure that no bacteria or mold starts kind of in the cadaver of the invader.
Isn't that incredible?
The Egyptians used it in their embalming process, and Soviet Union used it for gun wound treatment during First World War, and it's been around for a long time. It's just kind of been disappearing in the modern world a little bit. I think I'm gonna put the box back on.
Okay.
So that's how we leave them over the winter.
I'm just amazed at nature, you know, the way everything works together. Like you can't leave out one part and have it still function fully. So the flowers and the way that the bees are able to fly and the way that the bees' wings work and their bodies are bigger. So the sounds, they're beautiful sounds. As you get closer, you can feel their little wings, like you can feel the air from the bees and the beautiful honey and the wax, and they're such a necessary creature. So beautiful. I just have so much appreciation for what they do and how it can impact people.
Those are actually. Ooh. Right there.
This is so good. Look at this.
Oh, did you get it?
I'm Jamie Cross and I'm the bee charmer.